And there was a lady on there, she had like, I think it was like 4 kids and she lost 3 and she only had a little baby left. She only had 1 more kid left and she couldn't even really walk. She had to get her parents to come help her move around because she was so sick. And she was like really, really sick.
Also, the government will have to be careful of the people in general because whenever they get the chance, they'll probably rise up into like I wouldn't say like a revolution, but they probably would. Yeah, they probably would overthrow the government, but they'll probably get very angry and go on a killing spree maybe.
They do overthrow the government and establish theirs. Those people might not know how to run it, which it makes another chain reaction. And the government.
It's kind of difficult for them to choose a government because they have different groups and tribes, and then you pick one president. He's part of this tribe, and he's giving the money to the people, but not all the other ethnic groups. Just that one that he supported. It's difficult for all the other people to get support. And then when you are sending more aid because you think they're getting it, but it's not everybody. It's just certain people that they believe that need it more.
Yeah, like we could be sending money like right now or something like that to help Africa, but some of the Africans, like they probably couldn't know that we were sending money right now because the government could be keeping it all and not even telling them that we have been sending it.
I say kind of the Arabs, not trying to mean or anything, but I say that the Arabs are kind of like messing with people, like with Africans, because Miss Ford taught us, like she said, like they came from the Middle East and they colonized, like British colonized some with Africa, like a lot of Africa, and I think when they colonized it, the Arabs probably like crossed over with them and probably took over like the top and pushed Africans back down south where it probably like the age probably started at. That's what I think it really mostly happened.
I know I read an article online that it said that since Africa's government has taken all Africa's people's foreign aid, U.S. foreign aid has roundly failed to benefit the poor, which that's the only reason it's in it. It was to help them.
And I think the Arabs kind of like messing them up too a lot too, because they're starting like a lot of fights with South Sudan and other conflicts with other countries. I think that's kind of messing them up too.
Right here in the article it says waiting to be broken by foreign money. So I think that they're wanting money to send, but it couldn't really do anything to help. If they're just like getting a little bit from the government, I don't think it will really help anything like we were talking about.
Yeah, money's not the solution to foreign aid. But we need to teach them stuff to keep them from stopping what they're doing wrong and teach them what we are doing good to help them with this problem they have.
I think education would be the most important thing in Africa because they have rainforests and they could be using those plants to make medicine that they wouldn't know about because of the poor education that they have throughout the country.
Yeah, if they had better education, then they could be going to the rainforest and like the people who went and got a good education could go and try to find the medicine and bring it back to see if it could work on some people.
Yeah, but some factories and governments are cutting down those trees.
Yeah.
That brings to deforestation and that leads to desertification. Yeah, and that's causing that. So how can you get those medicines if those plants are being chopped down?
I also think another problem would be their borders, because they already they're beside a lot of their rivals, and that causes a lot of fights. So that would also increase their population.
Sudan and South Sudan, they've been fighting for a while. Like, didn't they have they were fighting, and I bet that used a good bit of money up for the fight and then repairing everything that got damaged and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that that took up a good bit of money.
And I think a lot of times after like fights and like that, when a lot of things are tore up, the government doesn't really have a lot of money to rebuild. So sometimes they just like leave it, I think.
Like South Sudan, after we gave South, like when the UN supported South Sudan, they gave them supplies, but after they were done with with Sudan, they started getting civil war within the country with different tribes and stuff. So I kind of support it also without helping them.
What do you think?
When y'all were talking about how they didn't have enough money, I saw that 315 million people, 1 and 2 of people in sub-Saharan Africa survive on less than $1 per day.
That's what I said. She was an idiot.
That's what I asked. That's what I asked you.
Maybe they could try to like put all their money together and see how much they could get out of it, and then like just like share the supplies that they get out of it. Kind of.
Yeah,
Like in the village, like put all their money together and just keep on saving, and then they could go and get the medicine that they need. If they haven't.
I'm saying I kind of want to say it's like a win-win situation, but it's right now it's like a lose-lose. It's like if you give money, but the government takes it, so that if they need to give it to the organization, the government has the right to take it, so then they make it no money. So, and if you send resources, the government could take that too.
Can I throw something out?
Yes.
We've talked a lot about humanitarian aid when it comes to food and water and AIDS and other health issues. What do you think about military intervention in conflicts? Like the Hutus and the Tutsis in Rwanda, like the civil war in Sudan, like the genocide in Darfur. I think most of us are of the agreement that if we can help people survive, as a moral obligation, we should keep people from dying. But what about government and military affairs? Should we be involved in those?
At that point, I think we should leave them alone, because after we help like all the other countries in the Middle East, we help Iraq, and then they turned on us with ISIS and stuff. So I think we just kind of stay out of it at that point.
I agree with Jay, because if we help those countries, we're gonna send resources and troops to help them, and in war your troops are gonna die. That's wasting our troops and our resources on just one country that we're helping because it was their conflict.
Yeah, I was watching the news, and they were talking about how, I think it was ISIS, like, killed someone because they had their person, so they were, like, going and, like, killing people if they had, like, a person that was, like, on their side, and that's not, like, what he was saying earlier. If they were, like, being, like, rude and, like, killing people, then there's no reason really to help them, because, I mean, they're just gonna, like, they could probably just come and, like, shoot us or something
I
like
agree
that.
with them, but it says, I saw on the interweb that, foreign aid is usually divided into two ways, military and economic assistance. So, we want something now, but I'm with, Jay and Shannon.
I kinda agree with Shannon, like, we should help them in war. I mean, we shouldn't help them in war, but if it gets to the point to where it's too bad, that we probably should jump in and try to help.
So you think we should help Africa's government?
We should in some areas, like building schools and stuff like that, but we shouldn't help them in everything. Cause the government's just taking the money and using it for themselves.
I don't think we should help militaries, because if we do that, we're gonna be like a World War III or something, for all we know.
I just say, you know, we had 2 world wars, we had the Civil War, we had a bunch of wars that we probably got into. I'm just saying, we had a lot of conflicts going on, and then if we jump in with Africa, that we have no business in dealing with, or ISIS, or anybody that we have no business with, that can start a big old conflict with us. They can probably get like nuclear, like weapons and stuff, and like they can like bomb us and stuff, and then we gonna get mad, then we're gonna go after them, and then a bunch of other countries gonna try to help them, and then a bunch of other countries gonna start us, so I'll with Cat on that one.
Like what Cameron was saying, like we should help them, like the way we help, like in Israel, when we help them, then we had the oil prices and gas prices went up. Like if we help them in countries like, say like South Africa supports us, like diamonds, and they have a civil war within South Africa, you help one group, and they could cut the diamond population off, and you have like less jewelry and stuff, like less income and export. But I think we should do that, so we won't have like those favoritism.
Another question, how do you decide which side to help if you're gonna help in a conflict? If there's two different ethnic groups, like the Hutus and the Tutsis?
Figure out which one's good and bad.
They both could be good.
Or if they helped you, like they help you with a favor, so we would help them back.
A lot of people
You
go
just
with
don't
like,
help
who
them.
are their friends, you know what I'm saying? But it's really like who did the right thing, you know, I mean, like, yeah, everybody has their own opinion about what the right thing is, but like, and then there's always one right thing,
Or just don't even get in it, or
yeah.
Like,
don't even
just
get
like
involved
stay
in
out
it.
of it and let them handle it themselves.
Unless they really come to you with problems, then you know.
So like, if we help Africa, like, other countries get mad that we're helping Africa, and then that would cause another world war.
Yes.
Kinda like how Saudi Arabia got mad at us, and we had to raise the oil prices and gas prices, and people, that what happened to the Great Depression, I think. That was the Great Depression.
Well, I don't think people would get mad at us for helping Africa, because everybody else is also helping Africa.
Yeah, over 16 countries help Africa, but like what Chandler and Jay were saying about the military, and they're not helping.
I think the military in Africa is kind of like dangerous. Like they don't probably want no help at all, because they probably think they're like really, you know,
Powerful.
yeah.
Like in Africa, like Great Britain already colonized them, and then they became independent. I think we should stay out of their war and just let them do their traditional ways and let them go back to however they want, you know.
I was reading this article about like the problems that they use, and Africa uses something called the crab mentality, and I guess they use it, to stick together always, like during wars and stuff. It says that you put several crabs to a bucket, and if one of them begins to crawl out, one or more of the other crabs will put it back to prevent its escape. And it says this is a good metaphor for us Africans to unite and create strong networks that support each other, and that, I guess that could kind of cause a problem.
if we kind of like start helping them in their wars, then they'll probably think that if we're not even involved in the war, then they'll probably think that we'll come and help them, although that we won't, because it won't be it won't be our war, so we shouldn't like stick up for them every time, but if they really, really, really need some help, then we could at least step in and help them a little bit.
Like when we saw like the warm up when they said like the genocide in Sudan, and we didn't do it, like when it's just getting so bad at a point, we need to recognize it and then know when to come in and help. But then we need like the Hutus and Tutsis, once that's going like that, that's when we need to come in. But it's not a great war. We need to kind of back off and let them be independent on their own and solve their own problems.
Frankie, what do you think?
I think we should send military in there, because we're America and we will always send military in there, and our troops are willing to die to save somebody, so they know the risk.
But I think, like, I know we're still at AIDS, but, you know, AIDS, like the Tutsis and the Tutsi, I can't think of it. Yeah. They, like, a bunch of Tutus were actually, I can't say it, I'm sorry, but actually a lot of them were killed for no odd reason, just because the people told them to actually move from their homeland to go to like Bakutustan, I think it is. No, it was a hotel, wasn't it? Nah.
About Hotel Rwanda?
Yeah, he moved into a hotel, I think, and he was trying to help all the people that he could, but he couldn't fit all of those in there, so he like split them up in rooms.